Good evening, everybody. I was told this tonight as a Samsara Nirvana public talk, open general, anybody who are interested, and then from tomorrow who are more want to study further about this Samsara Nirvana. Basically, as we have here discussions, that everybody in the world sentient beings, those who are human beings, non-human beings, animals, we all desire for peace and happiness. And we desire to free from suffering. That is the core emergent of our mind. Without even asking, why I want peace and happiness, why I want to free from suffering. Even sometimes we may not know what suffering is or what peace and happiness is, but simply in the mind, it's calm, core emergent, just it's there. Doesn't matter what kind of religion we believe, or even unbelievers, educated, uneducated, rich or poor. So it is universally shared, this experience. So that's the reality nature. And the peace and happiness that what we desire for, it doesn't come just by wishing. I wish. Also it doesn't come just by saying prayers. As well, the suffering that what we don't desire for, it doesn't go away just by wishing. That's also universal. So because of this, everybody keeps busy how to create peace and happiness. We keep busy how to free from suffering. Now in there, then there are different people try in a different method. Politically, economically, religious, non-religious. Some we believe it is a religion, so this way is the way how to free from suffering, a way how to bring peace and happiness. We believe religion, we say prayers. Some business, we involve all different types of business field. So this is the way how to solve the problem, how to bring peace and happiness. In the country, the politics. In the political, there are many different systems. Democratic system, royal king system, communist system, socialist system. There's so many, you see, they're trying a different way how to solve the problem, free from suffering, how to create some peace and happiness in the individual's life, in the society. See? So let's see. This is all what we do, method, a way we try. Whether it's successful or not successful, whether we can or not, but we're trying. No? So this is all you see. Okay. Now in this all, just bring into two basic topics. Just look at material and mental levels. So because of our modern science and technologies, by the power of this, developed so much. Look at all these technologies that exist now, like communication, transportation. We can reach to places so fast, country to country, continent to continent. Within a day, 2 days, we can get to far other countries. Also to solve the problems. Communications now, as you see, everywhere. Now cannot isolate. If something happens so far, somewhere in the corner, you get the information now here in 1 minute. So modern science technology created such kind of things happen so fast. Just push a button and things happen. You see things there. You can hear. No need to say prayer. No need to say prayer. Say, can I get to pen as a preneur in some day in the future? You just take a car. Within an hour, you get here. You can fly to other country. In a few hours, you get there. No need to say prayers. No need to chant mantra. See, you light, just push the button. You no need to say, I wish I had a light. Say, then you pray, say prayers. Please give me a light to see, all those things. So these material developments become so powerful. In the old time, as you know, there's no light, there's no transportation. So people walk or take horses. Days they make journey. So they are busy in their life, mostly in the farm. Or say, curving woods, cutting woods, like those. Nowadays, because of the powerful machine, many people just spend their time in the offices, you see. But all this changes, so much changed. But still, we haven't solved the suffering. Anything we start something, wishing to free from suffering, wishing to solve the problem. But when you start something, it's a very good idea. Everybody agreed. But then start another suffering. So there's this material side, and then the mental side is mission. So we see them from this. Now there are basically mission. There are two basic that we have called 5 sensorial objects, or 5 sensorial consciousness. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. These 5 subjects. We now need to satisfy these 5 senses. To see the eye beautiful things there, the eye need all those enjoyment. The ears need pleasant sound, fragrant in the nose, delicious food on the tongue, and then good touch to the body. To satisfy these 5 senses of the now consciousness, we need objects. See, we create beautiful houses, all those things. Still, there's no satisfaction. Isn't it? Look at this. Now there comes more kind of hidden subject, or should say, called mind, consciousness, which rules this whole system, your whole life. And the mind is such a mysterious subject, even though we individually have our own mind. We all have our own mind, that which tells you what to do, what not to do, and you follow. Yes, this idea, this good idea, yes. It's just the mind keeps telling you what to do, and you say, okay, yes, I'll drive for you to go to there. I'll drive for you to get a good food. So keeps our life so busy, but at the same time, we don't know what that is. It cannot be seen by the machine, no matter how powerful machines are there in the world, the modern technologies. Then it just becomes a brain. The brain tells you what. So we say, look at the brain. It's the brain what you think about. But still, you see, since you don't see it, you say, oh, it's brain. But in your mind feeling, something is there, but I don't know. That's the mind, consciousness. So consciousness is not a matter. This is all a matter. Brain is part of the matter. Consciousness is not a matter, it's a consciousness. That's nothing to do with religion. It's universal. See, nothing to do with different philosophies. Educated, uneducated. It's something that is mysterious subject. See, why you want so much? No matter how much you enjoy, no satisfaction. You want more and more and more. Until you say, stop. Isn't it? Make sense? Look at these things. This is a very important point. You know, while we're involved with these things. So when we don't know this mind, mysterious, which is very ambiguous, abstract subject, And ends, when we don't know how to handle this. The outside the world is so active, fast, lot of pressure, was stress, and our emotions are so strong. And when we cannot handle, we drink alcohol so much, use drugs. Those normally hope. Or should say, this normally is just not the method how to handle. Because you're suffering so much. The stress is so deep. So those becomes a religion in our life to free from these difficult and a traumatized life. So look at these very carefully. It's like say, if you study Buddhism, why I should study something new? Sometimes it's something like a new age thing, So it's very important to look carefully. In the Buddhist, you see, it's a history, Buddha's teaching. That history goes come. Buddha is Sanskrit. In actual translations, they fully awakened 2,600 years ago. That time also there was suffering, a lot of confusions. May not have all these modern technologies, but the suffering is there. It's the suffering of aging, suffering of sickness, suffering of death, separating from your loved one, meeting the people you don't like enemies. Cannot suffering of not getting what you want. Then the suffering of to protect what you have. Those are just general. The 8 sufferings that were in the human one that we had in that time, the world happened. Buddha became big before Buddha. He was a powerful king's son. He was called Siddhartha. He lived in his kingdom for 29 years. So he got enough experience in his country. Went around meeting people, seeing the life of those people. Not only human beings, but even animals, insects, ants. Keeping busy. Why they're keeping busy? He asked those questions. Especially as mentioned those suffering that people going through. He just looked to himself without attachment to his own enjoyment that he has. Because he has everything what he desires for. But he investigated, looked to himself. If I go through these things, how I will challenge, how I will face. So like that, ask those all questions to help himself, to help others. So he said, just temporarily attachment to my powerful kingdom is not solution to have all the peace and happiness. There must be something. So for all those deeper, to go to deeper knowledge, so he left the kingdom. He's not just left without reason, but he left. Then he, met many different teachers, spiritual teachers, meditators, who has great philosophies. He discussed, he communicated all those, and he himself practiced. When he was in the kingdom, he has everything. But then when he left the kingdom, he has nothing. Not even shelter, not even enough food, cloth to wear. So he realized both are not the solution of the suffering. Having all those things will not give you real happiness, joy. Having nothing is also not a solution to free from suffering. Now what? Then he meditated. Meditate means go deeper into the mind. Not just close your eyes, sit there something for nothing. No? Deeper in the meditation. Says mission, the mind is such a mysterious. So he was very curious about knowing the mind. What is it? Where did this? What about that? How it was? No. With these all questions, then he did strong meditation. Day after day, month after month, year after year, for 6 years. Achieved a very high scala, one-pointed equipoise meditative state. And finally, when he was 35, in Bodh Gaya, a place under the Bodhi tree, and he revealed all that what is unanswered. Is there anybody who speaks Sanskrit?
Kas keegi räägib sanskriti keelt?
Anybody? Here's a Sanskrit word. He said, Gambhira Shanto Viraj Pravasavara Prapto Sme Dharmo He Amirto Asamsakrita. Said, I achieved such a knowledge, unafflicted luminosity, is an uncompounded luminosity, profound, total peace, stillness. Not looking outside. Within in. Every individual have that. That's just earlier mentioned. We all desire for peace and happiness because of that nature. Everybody is oriented that nature. Total peace, uncompounded luminosity, undefiled ambrosia. Because that is the free from all the suffering. That's why in the innate of our mind, we just desire for peace and happiness. When there comes some peace and happiness, even the artificial, was so congruent with that, very close to that. physically, mentally, we have some aversion. Every individual, even small insect, bugs, if you touch, they run away because they have some ideal sense that some danger is coming. So this is very important for me who are interested in looking at this kind of thing. It's not imagination. He fully enlightened that nature. That's called enlightenment, awakened. When you capture that, there's no fear. There's no ego. There's no pride. There's no delusion. Everything's obvious. Nothing is hidden. See? And then, now, as I mentioned, 2,600 years passed, but the nature of that is still alive. That nature is nothing changed, like the sky. That time sky, this now the sky, the space had never changed. Cause of suffering at that time and the cause of suffering now is nothing changed. Cause of peace and happiness at that time and cause of peace and happiness now is not changed. A lot of our culture, belief system, a lot of it changed because everything is impermanent. But reality, the causality is never changed. So when you realize that, it's called nirvana. And when not realize that nature is a samsara. So every individual has a responsibility to approach that because of our own interest, our own benefit. Because you see, in our life, we spend our entire life in different fields, traveling many places, doing all sorts of things. At the end of the day, what the solution you found? Have you found some full satisfaction? At the time of death, you leave everything behind what you have done without satisfaction. Have you heard of Genghis Khan?
Kas te olete kuulnud Genghis Khanist?
He conquered whole Asia and part of Europe. So at the time of his death, he said, I'm not satisfied. With dissatisfaction, he passed away. Because he could not conquer his own mind. So you see, so what I'm trying to say things is we, of course, since we have the body, this physical body, so we do need material things for the necessary of this body to support. We need food, place to live, those things. But this is not the total solution of our suffering, the problems. So much when there is clarity, forgiveness, understanding, forbearance, appreciation, contentments. And on this basis, those are supported by the wisdom, your understanding. Then the sincere types of love and compassion. This is such a great happiness in the life. There's a peace. There's harmony. It's very clear. A child is grown up under the kindness of the mother. The mother skillfully nurtures the child, physically, mentally. And such child is grown up skillfully, I would say. Not spoiled, but skillfully grown up. The child, physically and mental health is much better than others who are disturbed. Much happier. Because the mind is such an important. Mind is not like a machine, just fix, push button. Mind is such delicate. When there's a very strong anger, hatred, strong attachment, greed, jealousy, there's no peace in the mind. Even though you may have a lot of material things in your life, driving very expensive car, but there's no appreciation. There's no joy. See? Just look at how the mind is important. We individually understand that, you see. We know this. Those who are not materially so much, but when they know how to live their life, appreciate. Their life is much more peaceful, harmonious. You see? It's very clear. This is nothing to do with spiritual. Whether you believe or not believe, it's spiritual. It's reality, see. So what Buddha taught is not just he was not talking a religion. He was talking how to solve our problem individually. If you are interested, you see. How to take care of our own mind. Now in the world you see, generally you see these negative thoughts are not reinforce or enforce us to get rid of negative thoughts. Something like we're inborn with that. Then there's a law, constitution. If you're against those, then we put in the prison. That much. But there's no inner teaching how to get rid of your attachment, anger, hatred. How to purify these negative emotions. There's no inner systems taught, you see. Because mind, as mentioned, mind is so mysterious, we don't know about this. Don't know how to handle this. So since Buddha realized these things, the disadvantage of all the negative emotions and advantage of all the positive emotions. So, with that great wisdom and great compassion taught how to slowly our negative emotions, which are the poison within us. So purify those things. As I mentioned, it's nothing to do with religion. All the positive emotions, wisdom. So how to bring up step by step, say, practice this way, maybe investigate this way, analyze this way, get used to it this way. There's a systematically set up the system, how to develop step by step. So from there, the understanding of rebirth comes, you see. Not just from material things like brain, those, from just if you say brain is the mind, we cannot accept rebirth. But when there's consciousness which goes continuously, the day when we are born, our consciousness continues with us. We get old, older, get sick, die. So even physically we are getting old. Our mind still is so young, so fresh. It shows, even in this life, this body is decayed, consciousness continues. Even you get sick, the mind is very fresh. That just goes life after life. It's not a belief system. It's the reality how it goes. So you see, this way of this study practice, these teachings, it's not just only today's solved problem, not just only this year's problem to solve. This whole life, not only this life, life after life. And as yesterday I wanted peace and happiness, I want to get true. And I will be also wanted a need for tomorrow as well, next year as well. The suffering which I don't want, today I don't want. Tomorrow also, of course, I don't want that. And next year, next life as well. So look at these things. While we study, practice, we have to have this kind of ultimate implication, goal, just like that. Then we know how to see, how to take care of ourselves. When we don't know this, then this a great master said, we desire to free from suffering, but we chase the suffering. We desire to have peace and happiness, but we destroy them as if they were enemies due to ignorance. Everybody desires for peace and happiness, but we have very little peace and happiness. Why? We all desire to free from suffering, but we just go under a lot of suffering. Why? Because we have no skill, no wisdom, no method how to deal with these things. That's why we go through a lot of suffering. Then we blame somebody else. Because of you, I go through this old problem. Because of the government, I go through this old problem. Because of that, I go through all those problems. So we individually prove I'm perfect. Make sense? Look at these, just, of course you don't have to accept what I said. This is my idea, Then after this some more questions and answers if you have any thing to say. So today this is just an outline that I just talk about general, and then tomorrow, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 whole days. Then there's one short text is put together. How we kind of confuse water in the samsara. There are different topics. And then after that, how we can dispel the confusions and how to go step by step to purify and so attain without. So even though it's very short text, but has a complete introduction on the Buddha's teaching, both sutra and tantra system. So just for your information. And now, if you have any questions or any disagreements, we'll have some discussions. First, take a deep breath. Say. Inhale, fully. Expand your chest and lose all your tension. Just relax. Don't be too uptight.